for me mama kwaba eleba Ghanatube so aha ena ensema ekoso ewo yen man Ghana mu no onsa ebeka adafo nsema ekoso ewo Ghana mu de edos lie papa na eni soso mese makwa koboaboa ebi ano ede apel adafo yembohwi na enkotie ensem no na yembra.
Well, this morning we want to take a look at the special prosecutor. Is he right or not? And with that office that he occupies, does he have the powers in relation to the act that establishes the office of the special prosecutor to be summoning, as well as declaring people as fugitives or not? And this is in relation to now a suit that has been filed by the former Finance Minister Ofori, who is currently domiciled abroad for medical treatment, we're told. In that suit, we'll take you through it, and the reliefs that he's seeking seem to be suggesting that, well, that there's a declaration that the special prosecutor himself has breached his duty to act fairly and reasonably when he sought to change the content of his engagement with the former minister through a media briefing. And we know that that media briefing, the special prosecutor Jaben made the declaration that the former finance minister was a fugitive. Since then, that tag has been since removed. But for the immediate removal of the photograph to the jurisdiction, the early part of June, I believe it has to be the second day of the month of June, and that will be in a couple of months' time. But the special prosecutor has been responding swiftly, and we'll put that on the screens for you, and then you also apprise yourself, and then that is detailed in the release of the special prosecutor. Will be on your screens very soon. We're getting it ready for you, and so it's now ready. And following that, well, so the special prosecutor through the office, they've responded swiftly. It says that they've acknowledged the suit that has been filed by Ofori, the former finance minister, and formally that the former finance minister requested the OSP to remove the name, just acknowledging from the list of wanted persons. And Mr. Ofori, according to the statement, is required to mandatorily appear in person before the OSP on the 2nd of June 2025. If, and this one, directly coming from the special prosecutor, I say if Mr. Ofori, the former finance minister, fails to attend the OSP hearing on the scheduled date, he shall be re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons. And the OSP again continues that the office shall also consider him a fugitive from justice, whereupon the OSP will cause the issuance of an Interpol red notice. And for many of you tend to follow issues of individuals being declared fugitive from justice, etc. This is as serious as it gets. A red notice, an Interpol red notice, has many implications, and it looks like the special prosecutor Jaben is firmly on his position that he will also cause the initiation of extradition proceedings in any jurisdiction in which Ofori may find himself. It's as serious as it could be. So we have a declaration that's been made by Jaben, the SP, that's a special prosecutor. And then, lawsuit has been filed by the former finance minister asking for certain reliefs. And subsequently, this quick response, we'll put that on the screen for, we'll read the last one. You'll find that in the last paragraph also is very instructive. There's a red notice that will be, he says that the OSP is unwavering in its commitment to enforcing the law and ensuring that Ofori, the former finance minister, answers for his role as the prime suspect in 5 ongoing corruption and corruption-related investigations. We know that as part of these 5 ongoing corruption and corruption-related investigations, a number of them as well, the expenditure that was made, not budgeted for, etc., especially the response that he gave that is coming from the contingency for in relation to the the National Cathedral in itself, among many other investigations, there will be 4 of them in addition to that one, also remain very critical. So our role here is not to be very prejudicial on the subject of his relief he's seeking in court, but to ask the critical question and discuss. Does the act that establishes the OSP give the SP, that's the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ejaben, the right to do what he's doing? And what does it mean? And the actions thereof of Ken Ofori in times past, for which he has to be answerable to some of these charges that are being investigated by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Very instructive. Make sure you share the stream. All those who have joined us this morning, we're grateful. Lawyer Kakri Samuel, all of you who are watching, please share the stream and let's have some great conversations. But look, having observed all the actions of Ken Ofori as finance minister, reactions and thereof also of his own people, that's the majority members of parliament at the time, etc. What do you make of it as somebody who is in the profession of legal practice?
Okay. So Roland and my colleagues and cherished viewers, once again, good morning. Let me use this opportunity to wish my regional vice chairman for Bono region, Chamali Ajay, a happy birthday, and Egypt's wife as well. That said, today also happens to be a special day at my office, the authority. The ladies or women there have a week-long program to celebrate the impact of ladies in the downstream, among others. But that said, you see, I've been following the conversation between the Special Prosecutor and the Honorable Ken Ofori Atta. Now, I have been asking myself, what exactly are the issues? Is it the case that the SP, so far, in seeking to investigate the matters involving Mr. Ken Ofori Atta, has violated the 1992 Constitution or the statute establishing the office?
How do you mean?
I want to know. Because you see, the 1992 Constitution is pretty clear, the responsibilities. And it says that all of us are not above the laws of this country. And that, in fact, if you look at Article 19 particularly, on fair trial rules, and from Article 14 there, and you notice that there's a responsibility cast on the SP at the barest minimum to be fair to everybody. Now, as we speak, has the Special Prosecutor done anything that it has not done to any other person before? So that in the scale of, in terms of comparative analysis, you can say that the SP has not treated Mr. Ken Ofori Atta fairly compared to how he treated Kojo Mensah in the past or now. It is only on that basis that we can come to the conclusion that the conduct of the SP so far is not, within the parameters of the law.
Why is this analysis necessary?
The analysis is necessary because, you see, I have acted as counsel for persons who were under investigation by the Special Prosecutor and were not treated differently. Look, and I say this, I was counsel for one of the persons involved in the Airbus matter. Carefully, if you watch, it was Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself who petitioned the Special Prosecutor then, Mr. Martin Amidu, to investigate anybody implicated in the Airbus matter. And I recall vividly, the SP there, Mr. Martin Amidu, declared them wanted, not only wanted, and this is where I want to bring in. Mr. Ken Ofori Atta is even lucky.
Oh, lucky how?
Yes.
Because?
In the specific case of the Airbus, promptly, the Interpol office in Accra immediately put them on red alert. Promptly on red alert. Which meant that if they had moved from where they were going to be arrested because they were on Interpol red alert. At that time, Mr. Ken Ofori Atta and Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo felt that it was the proper thing to do. Possibly because they felt that it was John Mohammed's relatives or associates. And so it was fair to declare them wanted and to put them on Interpol red alert. In fact, I recall vividly having to go to, upon the instruction of my client, I went to, because the so-called warrant they claimed they had came from a circuit court judge. So I said, look, let me go and do my search. I did my search, went to the circuit court registrar. With my search questions, was an application moved, either ex parte or on notice, for the issuance of the warrant of arrest? Whether or not the application was duly served on any of these individuals. Series of questions. Roland, it has been almost, if I'm not mistaken, 5 years the courts have not been able to answer the search. Look, I went to the point of going for the proceedings of, I think, May 2019 or 2020 of the circuit court, just to find out whether an application, they went, did everything, no record, but there was a warrant. I mean, so I am asking myself a simple question this morning. That even in your case, the SP has been engaging your lawyers. It is because your lawyers have not been able to produce you. That is why he went to the extent of declaring you wanted. And in his press statement, he made those details clear. So what exactly is the problem? I am not saying somebody said, oh, I was involved. I remember the searches I conducted at the registry of the circuit court. It was almost embarrassing. For almost 5 years, they were never able to respond to the search questions. What has happened? The SP has simply said, I am conducting an investigation involving the tax refund account and payments coming out of it. 2, payments and authorizations relative to the National Cathedral. 3, SML. Because in the SML agreement, GRA and Finance Ministry co-signed the agreement. And so he wants clarification. What was the basis? Were there the necessary procurement and others? How did you go about it? Incidentally, if you listen to the Finance Minister, he gave an indication that the tax refund account, that was where they were paying SML. That was where they were paying KDGVG, among others. So he wants to have an appreciation with you.
So there's a justification for these investigations? Not the refrain on social media and also coming from the NPP side of the political divide. This is witch hunting.
I represented, listen carefully, I represented a client who had to go to Sawan prison for 4 years. You know his crime? For breaching the Procurement Act. If the payment in respect of the cathedral, public funds, did not comply with the dictates of the Public Procurement Act, you think Ken should not answer questions? Look, the Public Financial Management Act is a Ministry of Finance sponsored legislation. So if there is evidence or whatsoever that those provisions and the Procurement Acts were expressly violated, and this client I talk about, he was prosecuted by Nanado Dankwe Kufuado, and he went to Nsawam. So if tomorrow it turns out that in Ofori's dealing with public resources, ABCD legislations were violated, I mean, the law of this country should take its course.
For in some gum Ghana no ena ukoti any so oshe no measure say other comments no ebe me comment section na mejibre akenkan na ede amofefefe make I say aha Ghanatube nsema ekoso ewe yemaimu onsa ebeka enti ene na dofo on subscribe mami na hit notification bell no for more updates ya bituma na wenya ne interpass mema we free say obe like a videos ni na vinso wa share ede amaye sisi ade odofo sini account